Hey guys, I'm Nick. Welcome to KN Tech. This is my new channel. Just thought I'd pop up a quick video here just to introduce myself and let you know what's going to be going on here, and to maybe hope you guys stick around and we'll see what happens. So I thought I'd create a channel just to explore some of the fun stuff that's going on in tech. I know I'm kind of late to the YouTube party, but hey, it's a big place. There's room enough for all of us. So a little bit about me. I'm 47 years old. I've worked in the IT industry for over 25 years. I've done everything from help desk, from IT support to big project implementations, both here in the UK and across Europe. And I'm a bit of a geek. I love technology. Let's face it, if it needs a battery and a screen, I like it. And I'm going to want it. And I'm going to want to play around with it. And I'm probably going to put that video when I play around with it on here. Now, I started out building PCs when I was around 14, back in 1986. 1986. Wow, that's a long time ago. Back then it was 286s, and if you were lucky you had 4 meg of RAM, 4 whole megabytes of RAM. Can you imagine that? I mean, what do people run now in their machines these days? If they've got 4 gigabytes, it's nothing, right? 8 is good, 16 is pretty much the norm for gaming and stuff. But yeah, back in the 286 days, 4 meg was a healthy amount of RAM. So 286s, 386s, then it was the Pentiums, Pentium 2, Pentium 3, Pentium 4, AMD Athlon, Celerons, all that kind of good stuff. So that's how I really when I got into building PCs, and I've been hooked by it ever since. So like I say, building PCs is something I really enjoy doing. I love tinkering. I love opening up the box, taking the case lid off, taking things out, looking to see what's inside, and that's pretty much how I got started out. Just literally open up a case, look inside, see what you can do with it, see what you can mess around with. Taking out RAM, putting RAM back in, just to see how it fits, how it comes out, how it goes in, all that kind of fun stuff. PC building, I love it. I do a little bit of modding, not so much. Normally, just to mod a case to fit something in usually. So I won't do fancy paint jobs and all that kind of stuff because I don't really have the experience and the skills for that. But hey, who knows? That's something I might start doing depending on how we go. But yeah, I mean, if I need to get something in and it won't fit, maybe I'll mod a case so that I can fit something in there. Maybe graphics card's a little bit too big, so I have to cut a bit of a drive bay cage out or something like that. That's the kind of modding that I'm more than happy to do. Drilling holes maybe for some pass-throughs or to route some cables through a chassis, that's fine, no problem at all. But yeah, not super flashy modding, but just basic modding to get things done. I'm also into overclocking. I love the fact that you can buy a piece of hardware, you can put it in your machine and it works, and then you can overclock it and it works better or it works faster. And it's amazing the amount of people that actually have equipment in their machines, in their PCs, that they don't overclock, and they're just losing all that performance. They're leaving it in the box effectively. You can do that. You can overclock. It's not super easy, but it's also not super hard. As long as you follow a nice reasonable step-by-step process and you do a little bit at a time and you test it and you make sure it's okay, and then you go up a little bit more and you test it and you make sure it's okay. It's a doable thing. It's not something that's super technical. It's something that can be learned. It's a process that you can learn, and you can gradually work your way up to getting something to work a little better. If you guys are wondering what I got in my hand, it's my video button. It basically tells my camera to start and stop taking the video. And the interesting thing, I just did this all once before, but I forgot to turn it on, so I had nothing. So just if you guys are using any kind of tech for anything, just hey, make sure you test it and make sure it works first. So like I said, overclocking is something that I'm really getting into more recently in the last couple of years. Overclocking my CPU and my GPU just to get a bit better performance out of it. And that kind of led on to my next hobby, if you like, which is water cooling, because overclocking tends to put more heat into a product or a component, and it's good to get that heat out and cooled as quickly as you possibly can. Now, water cooling is a great way of doing this. AIOs, there's plenty of them out. You can buy them. They're really good. They're really effective. They're super effective, and they're pretty quiet as well. But I like custom water cooling, so I like to make a custom loop. So I have a reservoir. I'll have a block on my CPU or on my GPU, or I'll even make one myself, or I'll mess around with, hack together a graphics card cooler. But yeah, and I think, let's be honest guys, it looks really cool, right? So I'm also into PC gaming. I don't play a huge amount of games. I play probably a handful of games. I play World of Tanks at the moment. which I'm super into at the moment. A little bit of League of Legends, CSGO, that's quite interesting. A little bit of Battlefield 5 sometimes, or Battlefront 2, depending, you know, if I fancy a bit of a change. But yeah, I'm super into gaming. I like to come up at least once a week and spend a good session doing some games. So I guess I better tell you the reason why I want to start this channel with, because I've been working in IT for a long time. So I have a lot of little tips and tricks and shortcuts and those kind of things sort of in the back of my head that I've come across in the years I've been working in the IT industry. So I figured I'd start a channel and share these with you guys. I plan to do videos on anything I can find to do a video on, really. I'll do videos on builds, so I'll probably be putting a few builds on here where I'll build a machine from scratch. Sometimes with new parts, sometimes I'll be reusing second-hand parts. Maybe I'll do some troubleshooting videos as well to see if there's a problem that I've got, that I'm experiencing, that you guys might be experiencing. So maybe I'll do a video on that, because then if you guys have got the same problem, hey, you can learn from my mistakes and you can learn from the problems that I get to hopefully make things that you've got work better. I'm probably at some point going to do some video on overclocking, whether that be on my CPU or my GPU. It's not going to be probably not going to be a complete how-to, but it's just going to be how you go about it and the kind of process that you go through to guide you down the route and help you on the way. Obviously you have the whole internet you can search for, and you can get people to help you out, and you can find pages and pages and pages and pages on overclocking. I'm probably going to be doing some water cooling videos at some point as well. Custom loop, more than likely, AIOs possibly as well, maybe doing even some comparisons between AIOs and custom looping and air cooling. Hey, I just don't know where it's going to go. This is the fun thing. It's the first time for me to do this. I'm starting out. You guys are in from the baseline. If you wanna come along and join me, absolutely, it'd be great to have you. Hit the subscribe button. That way you can see when I post a new video. If you have any comments, please put them in the comment sections down below. I'm going to try and post videos as often as I can. I do work full time, so this is not something I'm going to be spending all my time on. So I'm going to try and put something up once a month. I will try and do it once a month. It may not be once a month. It may be a little less often. It may be a little more often. We just have to see how things pan out. But yeah, hit the subscribe button, comment in the comment section down below, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.